This kid. Fuck it, I don't care.
I have no clue if your headphones were on when I ripped that hellacious part.
No. No.
That one, I really hope that the mic picked it up.
I'll let you know. I found my water cap.
And we're back.
You didn't fart again, did you?
Well, I farted before you got up, or before you took the headphones off. It was just the one that made me laugh was obnoxiously loud.
Right. There was so much noise, like ambient noise coming from out there, because that's where the furnace is. I didn't want that to be disrupting the audio.
I didn't hear any of it.
Okay. Good.
So your week.
So let's see. I got a whole shitload of stuff on here that I wanted to talk about over the next few weeks. I got another chase. So part of the weekend, I'll talk about the weekend that made me not want to talk about work for a while. And then I'll get to other stuff down the road, episodes down the road. But Friday night, I had the rookie a week ago Friday. He was riding with me for his one shift where I was going to be the main FTO. And I think his current FTO wanted him to see how other people police and handle stuff, So I had grabbed him on a couple occasions on going out to calls, but I haven't had him for a whole shift. The fucking kid doesn't know how to stop driving, which is good for new people. But I'm like, dude, take a fucking break. We don't have to drive around all night long looking for shit. We can sit for a minute and like run radar and do other stuff. But he just drives. He drove so well. We have to report our mileage at the end of the shift. I don't know if you guys do.
No.
Okay, so when you come in and give your numbers are mileage and then your count, how many stops, traffic stops, how many tickets, citations, state citations, village citations, arrests, misdemeanors, all that bullshit. So he did so well riding with me. I carried 30 miles a night extra, and I kept passing it on to my car partner who's on the day shift. I'm like, all right, the kid drove this many miles, dude, so you don't have to go anywhere, basically, if you don't want to, and I'll still get 30 miles tonight, which means I won't have to drive around anywhere. And my buddy Vince, who shares my car with me, that works the day shift, he was being forced in because of overtime shortages, manpower shortages. So he was working 2 18s in a row and then coming back to work and working. So basically handed him a bunch of mileage and said, you don't have to do anything if you don't want to, just stay in the station and sleep. So that worked out well for him for the weekend. But on that Saturday and Sunday, that Saturday night, he went back to his regular FTO for their last shift together before he started shadow phase in his own car, which was this past Wednesday and Thursday. And we were so fucking busy, swamped. At one point, we get a 3-car DUI crash, and it was a major intersection, and this guy was going westbound and went to turn northbound onto this main state highway. He must have been doing 45 or so. He doesn't exactly make the turn and goes over a huge concrete median and slams into 2 other cars, So luckily the rookie's there to take all this shit. So I rush over there. He asked for a PBT. I got to run back to the station, grab him a PBT, come back. He gets this DUI arrest. So he's tied up with his FTO on a DUI crash. Now we only got four people and him. He doesn't count his manpower, right? Because he's riding with his FTO. So we have a patrolman, 3 patrolmen, and a lieutenant. The lieutenant was our sergeant. He's working overtime as a boss on the street till like 1 a.m. Then he has to come back and work the full day shift from 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. as the boss on that shift, because all he likes to do is work overtime. So got the 2 guys tied up on a DUI crash. It's like we are running from 7 p.m. until it's like now almost midnight, and I have to go get my coffee. I hadn't had coffee yet. It's midnight. I've been working for 5 hours, no coffee. That's bad. So I'm pulling out to go get my coffee and something to eat, and I hear the lieutenant like I'm following a car westbound on such and such. Just blew past me. He's from this street. I'm like, shit, he's coming my direction, coming eastbound. I get to the driveway of the police department. Car flies by, and there goes the lieutenant in his unmarked car. I'm like, God damn it. Hit the lights, pull out. We chased this fucking guy. Sorry, we followed this guy.
Did you have a long eye?
Oh yeah, I had a long eye. I also had a short eye. I pull out with my lights on, and I'm up to 80 in like 2 seconds, and we're ripping through the city. And dispatch asked the lieutenant, "Are you chasing?" And he's like, "I'm not pursuing," and he doesn't have his lights on. So I'm like, "Oh," so I shut my lights off, and now we're flying. We get in a big section of street where it's just forest preserves, and we're moving. And dispatch, now I'm taking over, right? Because I'm giving out street locations and shit, so the boss could just concentrate on driving and keeping up with them. So I'm giving out our position, and at one point, dispatch is like, 58, what's your speed? I'm like, 40? Like 10-4, 40. Oh.
Please don't pull the data.
We don't have that technology, Brandon.
Oh,
but if they would go, this street, they could figure it out. Approaching Belmont,
It seems like you're going more than 40.
Yeah. So,
no, I'm just behind.
Right. And my boss, he's not going to say that we weren't. You know what I mean? He's in. He's all in. I'm like, all right. And I know who I'm with, so I know I'm straight. And at one point, he's like, we get dispatch back with us and says, Chicago had run that car, and it comes back to this address in the city, and the guy's a known gangbanger, and he's known to carry weapons and stuff in this car. So all I'm thinking about as we're still chasing this guy is,
this is how I get into my shooting.
Yeah, this is going to be a shootout, right? When the guy crashes, we're going to have a shootout. So at one point, we lose him. I mean, we're deep in the city, and he gets away. But we have his 28 as license plate information. So the boss says, notify Chicago, we're heading towards his house. I'm like, all right, here we go. We're going to his house.
Sure, why not?
Hey, what the hell? We're already down here. What the hell? And there's a part of the city called Six Corners. It's really cool. It's like 3 major intersections meet, and there's 6 actual corners there. It's pretty cool. So we're down by there, and we get onto the street of this shitbag, and there's Chicago squads everywhere. They had sent numerous cars to this guy's house to help us look for this guy. We went up going in an alley, and one of the Chicago gang unit guys gets out, and he meets us in the back. And he asked us what we want him for. And, just what happened was my boss was driving in and unmarked, and the guy just flew right past him doing 60 and a 30, whatever it was. So boss had lit him up, and the guy just continued to run. So we wanted him for just aggravated fleeing and eluding. We're going to tow his car. And the guy said, well, they just shot up his house yesterday. We're standing in the alley. I'm like, nice, good. They then know who this guy is. So like, he likes to hang out at this bar. It's right down the street over there. So if we don't get him here, go check over there. So we stuck around that area. Chicago helped us search, and then we couldn't find his car. So we went down by the bar, and it's funny. He's in an unmarked. I'm in a marked squad that says my town name on it. Everyone knows I don't belong in the area. It's not Chicago. I'm in Chicago. I'm driving my squad aggressively, like going through red lights and looking for people. So we get by the bar, and we check the parking garage across the street. We couldn't find his car. So in the meantime, while all that's going on, so the rookie and his FTO down on a crash, right? And me and my boss out of town. One guy left to handle calls, and he gets the old, hey, state police have a vehicle they need assistance on. It's on the state highway underneath a major expressway. So Dan's like, all right, I'll go assist them. It was an assist other agency. So Dan goes over there. This guy has taken, it's a major 4-lane east-west road with a concrete raised median barrier. And the median's maybe, I don't know, 18 inches high, whatever. The guy had driven up on the median like this, where he had 2 wheels on each side of the eastbound lane and westbound lanes. And apparently he was hammered. So Dan gets there, and the state's like, found you a DUI.
No.
Exactly, right? That's my thought. So at one point, while he's out there talking to the state police, and my boss and I are in the city still looking for this offender, And the two are at the PD with the drunk guy. They had placed the DUI arrest from the crash in the cell. And they were starting, tickets and all that bullshit paperwork. When dispatch got on the air and said, check your prisoner, he's hanging himself with a shirt. So they run back there. He's sure enough, he's hanging himself on the cells. He tied his shirt up and he's trying to hang himself. So they take his shirt away from him. They throw him back in the cell. And then they go back to the squad room. And then Dan calls 10-8, which is done, up, available for service, 10-8 from the state police assist. So he calls 10-8. And like 3 minutes later, Dan gets back on the air and goes, punch a card for a DUI. So now he's taking the DUI from the state. And Dan didn't see the guy driving the car, didn't see him in the car, because when he pulled up, the guy was outside of the car. And I'm like, what? So now Dan's got a DUI? What? Fuck the state. What? So then Dan says, I need someone to transport for me because he's driving a squad that has no cage in it. So now the rookie and the FTO have to leave the PD and run over there to pick up Dan's prisoner because they have a squad with a cage. We're still in the city. So they're out there. So the three of them are out there. And my boss and I are in the city. When dispatch gets on the air and goes, any units available? Your prisoner's hanging himself with his pants. Now no one's in the cell. And my boss, we're still heading back. And now he just hits his lights. I hit my lights. We're miles away from the station. So now we're flying back. And Dan, they just threw the drunk that was the state trooper guy drunk that got pushed off on Dan. They just throw him into the squad. And then everyone starts rushing back to the PD because there's no one at the PD. We don't have anybody at night that's there. So finally, they get there. They leave the prisoner in the squad car, Dan's prisoner. Everyone runs in. And my boss and I pull in maybe 2 minutes after everyone else got there. They had got him down, taken his pants away from him. Now he's in underwear. And now we got to call an ambulance for him because now he's got to go to the hospital because he's tried to kill himself 2 times. And that was how the night was all night. Nonstop. We never got the guy that flew past the boss that we got in a chase with. He put a warrant out for his arrest, and I think he's been looking to get his car. But that night and it just carried on to the next night, and it's more bullshit. Where I go to a juvenile, gets punched in the face by someone at a motel, one of our no-name motels where you just hourly rate bang job motels. And I pull up for the call. Now, my other buddy's our boss. He's working overtime from the other midnight shift because we didn't have a boss that night. And this is where I started yelling at people. First, before I get that call to go for this juvenile who got punched in the face, I get a phone report. So the dispatch says, call this guy. He wants to report something. So I give the guy a call. And I've got no temper. I mean, I've got no patience at this moment from the weekend, the way it was. And so here's what the guy says to me. Yeah, I want to report a home invasion. Home invasion? What the hell happened? Tell me what happened. I was at my apartment and my fiance let her sister in. And then she had 3 guys with her who forced their way in. And they came into my house without me knowing or without me wanting them there. I said, well, your fiance let them in. Yeah, but I didn't want them there. Okay, whatever. Continue. And then they came.
Semantics.
Yeah. Then they came into my room. Okay. And they threatened me. I go, oh, how'd they threaten you? One of them said he was going to go to Home Depot and get a zipper and come back and sew my mouth shut. And I said, I'm sorry. Do you reasonably believe that you're in fear of having your mouth sewn shut with a zipper as a battery or an assault? That would be an assault. Yes. I hung up on him. I fucking hung up on him.
That's fantastic.
I go, you're full of shit. Click. I hung up. He called back. God damn it. I've never hung up on anybody that's wanted to report a crime ever. I just have had enough of the stupid bullshit. So he called me back. We had this huge discussion. I said, listen, I'm not doing a report for you. Your fiance, let them in. Being in fear of receiving a zipper on your face is fucking idiotic. It's ridiculous. It's not going to happen. There's no report there.
Are you that big of a pussy?
Well, that's where the conversation went. So I go, kick their ass. What are you telling me? You're telling me 3 guys came in your house. Why didn't you call us then? They took my phone. I go, did you beat their ass? Or am I supposed to beat up 3 guys? I said, yeah, you're supposed to beat up 3 guys. Right. And then he goes, how would you like it if I came to your house and forced my way in? I go, I'd fucking shoot you.
You'd be dead.
I go, that's what I said. I go, I'd fucking shoot you in the face and you'd be dead. And he goes, well, you can't answer me like that. And I go, no, you just asked me.
You asked the question. I'm giving you the
what
answer.
I would do, and I would shoot you. He goes, why? Hey, click. Then he hangs up. So then I go to the call for the kid who got punched in the face. And as soon as I show up, I see who it is. And a few weeks ago, we had a drug overdose in the woods where they were pumping water on the woman trying to revive her from the well. It's that fucking woman and her son. And I give a fucking kidding me that I'm standing here with you now. Now what the fuck happened? And she's like, well, I went out drinking with this guy. I go, how do you know this guy? Well, I just met him. So you picked up a stranger in a motel while you have your 17-year-old son with you, and you went to bars. Okay, continue. And then this person was with me. I go, oh, that other drug bag. Okay, so you've got your son with these other drug users, and you're okay. Then what happened? Well, then we came back here, and my son went to ask him for a cigarette, for a light, for a cigarette, and the guy punched my son in the face. I go, all right, let me go. And she said, it's room 19. All right, wait for my sergeant. Let's go up to room 19. I go up to room 19. I'm knocking on the door. No one's in fucking room 19. The guy in 18 opens the door. He goes, can I help you? I go, I don't know. You know that person down there? Yeah. And I punched her son right in the face. I go, all right, let me in. He goes, all right, come on in.
Care to tell me more about that?
I go, do you know you punched a fucking juvenile in the face? And he goes, no, I didn't. He's 18. I go, he ain't 18 for 4 more days. Well, she told me he was 18. I go, regardless, what happened? So he tells me, kid was like being aggressive and all this other bullshit. So I'm like, my sergeant looks at me and goes, all right, I'll go talk to her about not pressing charges, because she wanted to have this guy arrested for a battery against her son. And she's the instigator. And it's all time he's telling me while the son's up in his face, because the son thinks that this guy wants to have sex with him. And if you see these people, it would give you the biggest disgusted, gross.
I mean, to be fair, he probably did want to have sex.
Yeah, I know, but he was. I spent $200 on her, or whatever.
Yeah,
and she's down in the parking lot.
Just a little tug.
When the son's at the door and she's doing this, the whole slashing the throat thing in the background, and I'm like, these are the people you just met this chick. Let me tell you, she was overdosing 2 weeks ago. On a call I had, and now you want to take her out to bars and drink with her.
So you're telling me she knows where to get the good shit?
Yeah, what the fuck's wrong with you? So the boss is down there talking to her, and the kid's getting looked at by EMS. EMS, by the way, it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. They don't want to be up and take people to hospitals and shit because they're sleeping. And specifically, one person hates doing his job and taking anybody anywhere. So he's in the ambulance. He's all pissed off. The boss comes back up and says, no, we're good. We don't. Okay. So I tell this guy, listen, man, stop punching juveniles in the face and find better people to hang out with. And he goes, well, I want to go to the hospital. I go, wait, you want to go to the hospital? Why? He goes, well, I'm bipolar. I'm not on my meds. I go, do you want to harm yourself? He says, no, I don't want to harm myself. Something just doesn't feel right. I go, okay, well, let me go clear the ambulance of these 2 idiots that I've been dealing with that you punched and his mom, and then I'll have you come down. He's like, all right. So I go back down to the ambulance, and they're letting the kid out with an ice pack. And I tell the guy in the ambulance, I go, hold on, I got one more for you. He's like, what do you mean? I go, well, now that guy wants to go to the ambulance. Oh, what the fuck? He's actually gets all pissed off. I go, hey, man, it's not my job. He said he wants to go to the hospital. You have to take him to the hospital. So I'll bring him down in a minute. He's like, oh, all right. And I looked at the woman, and I just lost my shit. I go, I'm so fucking sick of you being here with your kid, fucking 17 years old. You're putting him in all this bullshit. Now because of you, he got punched in the face by some fucking dude who you don't even know. I just went off on her. And then I just walked away. I felt really bad after about 5 minutes. I went back up to get this guy. I brought him down to the ambulance, got him on the ambulance. And as I was walking back to my squad through the courtyard of the motel, she's sitting up on the stairs just smoking. And she said, officer, yeah, I'm sorry. I go, I'm sorry too. Called her by her first name. Sorry too, Jamie. I didn't mean to yell at you. I just wish you were doing better for your kid. And she goes, we're going back to such and such a town tomorrow. I go, thank God. Get out of my town.
Don't do that, Jamie. Don't give me hope.
Stop teasing me. But I'm like, okay, good luck to you. Please Please take care of yourself.
I don't ever want to see you again.
Ever again. So who knows if they'll be back soon, which I'm sure they will.
They never left.
I lost my shit twice. So then later, that guy that I was dealing with the fake home invasion, he calls, and I said to my boss, I go, he fucking called me. It wasn't even in my zone now. And I take the phone call again, and I go, what? And he goes, you aren't taking my complaint seriously. I go, listen. He said that my girlfriend's sister grabbed my girlfriend. I said, listen, if your girlfriend wants to file a domestic battery report against her sister, have her come in. You can't file a report for her. Well, then her sister touched me. Here we go. The whole fucking, I go, okay, now how did she touch you? He's like, I was laying naked in my bed with my sheet on, and she pulled the sheets off. I go, but you didn't tell me how she touched you. Well, she grabbed the sheet off me. So she physically didn't touch you. Well, she touched me when she grabbed the sheet. I go, listen, dude, I'm not taking this report. You want to come in here with your girlfriend when you get off work in the middle of the night? Fine. I am. Click. He hangs up. So I tell my boss, I'm like, you're going to get some idiot coming in here. He's going to tell you all kinds of stories. You deal with him. I'm done. He's like, all right. Sure enough, the guy's in the lobby with his girlfriend, 7:58. I'm like, fuck. I'm already doing a report for something else.
No.
I go up to tell the boss, I go, all right, dipsticks outside. I'm not taking this report. He goes, I'm in the middle of some tactical investigation stuff here. I'm like, look at the computer. He's looking for Halloween decorations for his house. I go, all right, Sergeant, just telling you.
Privileges.
Yeah, I'm not going to deal with this guy because if I have to talk to him, some shit's going to happen. All right. So he took the report for me, or he went out to talk to these people. And then the guy, after all that bullshit on the phone with me, he goes, I was talking to this other officer, Marazzo, yesterday. He's mean. He told me that he would shoot me if I broke into his house. And my boss goes, yeah, so would I. What's the problem? Well, he also told me I should beat these guys up. Okay.
Probably should have.
Why didn't you? You let people come into your house and just push you around? Which they never did physically push them around. So he ended up just doing what's called a matter of record report for us. It's not an investigative report. It's not a report of an assault or
an information report.
It's an information only report.
This person wanted me to know some things. I don't know those things.
I don't want to sign complaints or anything. So now he's telling him he doesn't want to sign complaints. When we were adamant with me until I told him he should punch people in the face, then so that's what. After all of that, I think I went on 20 calls in 2 days. The last 2 days myself, 20 calls, which for us is like a fucking lot. We don't have a city your size.
Yeah. I'm like, that's a Tuesday.
Yeah. Well, I just watched The Gray Man. Have you seen it yet?
Yeah. How was that? No, I haven't seen it.
Fucking brilliant.
I haven't had like 2 minutes to myself in about 3 months.
So, because I'm so mentally burned out and I got the big projects out of the way, Friday night after the Elton John concert, I did absolutely nothing. I watched Prey, which is the new Predator movie on Hulu. I then watched it's pretty good.
Like for a Predator movie, like
it's pretty cool thinking that way back in time in the 1700s or 1870s, whenever he came, when it takes place, he gets into a fight with some Native Indians, Native Americans. So that was a pretty cool theory or idea. And then I watched The Gray Man, which is Chris Evans and Ryan Gosling, who looks like he's the Hulk all of a sudden. He was huge. And it's directed by the Russo brothers who did Infinity War.
Okay.
And Endgame. So it was very good if you get a chance to see it. Anyway, I saw Bullet Train last night.
Oh.
Brad Pitt. And a whole bunch of people in that movie that you didn't expect to see. But that was pretty good too. But anyways, That was me not doing anything on Friday just to mentally get away from. But anyways, in the movie, Ryan Gosling's a contract killer. Gray Man. He operates in between.
I think it's based on a character in a book series.
I think so too. It's based on a book. Yeah. Yeah. But he says,
I think I actually have the book.
The one girl that he's protecting, she sees him kill somebody. And at one point she makes a comment. She's had like a pacemaker put in and she's got all these medical tests and her defibrillator goes out one day and he has to rush her to the hospital. And he says, I'm sorry that this had to happen to you. And she goes, it's okay. It's just another Thursday for me. That's how miserable her life is medically. So then she sees him kill somebody. And at the end, she's like, I'm sorry you had to do that. And he's like, it's just another Thursday. So anyways, a long roundabout way to get to that. But if you get a chance to watch that at some point, you should. It's pretty good.
I might have to check that out. Check that out.
Uh-oh. You are echoing.
I am?
You did it 3 times. It echoed. Check it out. Did you push a button or something?
I did nothing.
That was hilarious. Okay.
I grabbed my phone because I know we're going to do the sad stuff, and I want to confirm whether or not there's any K9s.
There's 2 K9s.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 2 K9s. So, all right.
Yeah, Max and Frankie.
Yeah. We're going to pick up at July 17th, I believe, for the officers. I'm looking at when we last recorded, and it wasn't that week, and it wasn't that. Yeah, so we recorded on the 18th. So, all right. So we'll start this. For those of you that would like to go to the Officer Down Memorial page and follow along while we do this, please feel free to do so. Because we have so many this week, I'm going to list their names and their departments and end of watch dates, and then just the cause. And then if you want to find out more, you can go to the page and find out the details of their passing. From Jonesboro Police Department in Arkansas, Patrolman Vincent Anthony Parks. His end of watch was Sunday, July 17th, 2022, from a department-related illness. He was 38 years old and had served 1 month in the police department. From the North Kansas City Police Department in Missouri, Police Officer Daniel Vasquez. His cause of death was gunfire. He was 32 years old and had served 2 years at his department. From the Edmond Police Department in Oklahoma, Sergeant Christopher James Nelson, whose end of watch was Tuesday, July 19th, 2022, from an automobile crash. He was 38 years old and had served 15 years with his department. From Rochester Police Department in New York, Police Officer Anthony Patrick Askiewicz. This sounds familiar. July 21st. His cause of death was gunfire. He was 54 years old and had served 29 years in his police department. From the Clark County Sheriff's Office in Ohio, Deputy Sheriff Matthew Yates, end of watch Sunday, July 24th, 2022. Cause of death was gunfire. Deputy Yates was 41 years old and had served 15 years. From the Fairburn Police Department in Georgia, Sergeant John Harold Astry, end of watch Thursday, July 28th, 2022, from an automobile crash. He was 54 years old and had served 17 years and 6 months for his department. From the Clare County Sheriff's Department in Michigan, Mounted Deputy Nicole Schuff, end of watch Friday, July 29th, 2022, animal related. She fell off her horse. She was 33 years old and had served 2 years for her police department. From the Smith County Sheriff's Office in Texas, Deputy Sheriff Lorenzo Bustos. His end of watch was Friday, July 29th, 2022, from a vehicular assault. Deputy Bustos was 29 years old and had served 2 years and 6 months. His department. From the Spalding County Sheriff's Office in Georgia, Deputy Sheriff 2, Jamie Reynolds, end of watch July 31st, 2022, from an automobile crash. Deputy Reynolds had served 27 years. His age is not available. From the Elwood Police Department in Indiana, police officer Noah Chavez. His end of watch was Sunday, July 31st, 2022, from gunfire. Police officer Chavez was 24 years old and only on the job for 11 months. From the Wayne County Sheriff's Office in North Carolina, Sergeant Matthew Fishman, whose end of watch was August 2nd, 2022. Sergeant Fishman was 38 years old and had served 12 years law enforcement. And from the District of Columbia Public Library Office of Public Safety, D.C., Special Police Officer Marisa Mannion. Her end of watch was Thursday, August 4th, 2022, from inadvertent gunfire. She was 25 years old and had served 1 year on the job. And now Brandon's going to have the K9s for you.
So we have K9 Frankie, who was 10 years old and had been working for 9 years, and his cause of death was gunfire. And then K9 Max, Frankie also, he was with the Massachusetts State Police. And then K9 Max from the Lake Wales Police Department in Florida. Max was 7 years old. Doesn't say how long that he was a police dog, but he was also shot and killed in the line of duty.
It makes it hard when we miss a week and so much stuff happens. I had a friend reach out to me in reference to the Indiana officer, because that's not too far from us, Elwood, Indiana. Yeah. And he had texted me and asked if I had seen it. It was a traffic stop, and 2 a.m, and I'm like, I went and looked at the report or the news story, and just thought, what the fuck is going on? So anyways, all right, that is this week's Fallen Officer segment. We're going to transition to better things, I think. I haven't talked to Brandon.
Some may even say pivot. Shut up.
That's so good.
See, we can somehow make laughter.
Yeah, we have to, because the rest of it's all crazy.
Laugh or cry.
Right, laugh or cry. Pick one.
And so my buddy and I were talking last couple of weeks, and like the two most tragic things in the world are the line of duty death of the guy that's just about to retire, and like the rookie.
Right. Welcome to law enforcement. You're dead.
Yeah.
Or hey, you're almost done with the career you've had. You're dead.
Almost made it. There's the finish line. Just kidding. You're dead.
Yeah. Fuck. All right. So I do have a chance to go back to days in like 8 short months. It looks like
you got to keep working.
Right. I'm gonna have to keep working no matter what. It's just that, do I want to work weekends and holidays still, or do I rather work Monday through Friday and have weekends and evenings off? That's what it comes down to.
Better. That sounds better.
Yeah, I get 2.5% a year every year I stay added to my pension. But let's 2.5%.
Yeah.
If I keep getting Kitchen Island jobs, I'll make that in one gig.
Seriously, you're not going to need it.
So, I don't even know what
making portion.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of projects that you've been working on.
So I actually have some that are. We've started kind of storing some of the signs up here. So we've made more signs.
Giddy up! Sign me up.
That was a good one. So this one's actually already bought and paid for. It's getting delivered I don't know. The next time I see my mama. So we've got
I can see half of it.
No.
There we go. Do not
So it's
be overcome by evil. Overcome evil with good. Romans 12:21.
Yeah, so this is one of the Bible verse signs that we were making that are now listed on the Etsy page.
Excellent. And that is that pine plywood or pine board?
Yeah, it's just plywood, laser engraved, and then some pine 1x2s for the border. And then we actually got hit up by a homeschooling family to make another sign.
Excellent.
This one's an Abe Lincoln quote.
Abe Lincoln. Whatever you are, be a good one. Is that what it says? Whatever you are, be a good one?
Yeah, it says, whatever you are, be a good one.
Excellent.
Abraham Lincoln said that.
Now, did you guys make that stencil on the Cricut and then put it on the wood and hand paint that?
That's vinyl.
Or it's vinyl, okay. Because I know there's two ways to do it. So.
Yeah, so that's that Abraham Lincoln one was all vinyl.
Okay.
And then the Bible verse was all laser engraved.
Cool.
So I've been working on that, and then stack those back in the corner. And then my younger sister, or one of my younger sisters, is getting ready to move into her dorm room, and she wanted these. They're called propagation stations.
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
She sent me a picture and said, "Can you make this?" And I said, "Yes."
Of course you did.
Basically,
because we don't know how to say no.
No. Well, and it was really easy to make. It was really just you take basically just a chunk of wood, cut out a little groove in it for this test tube that sits in there that she can put plants in and stuff, and then drill a couple holes, throw some string through there, tie it off so it can get hung up on the wall. And I made like 6 of those for her, so probably take some photos of those here in the next couple days and probably list those too, because why not?
Yeah,
it was pretty simple.
Right. Everything should be listed on your Etsy page.
And then I got 2 random Etsy orders for some 2 of the empty tombs.
Oh, awesome.
So I had actually thrown those up around Easter, like just super late, and they sold really well. And like not just really well by my standards, but like within like 2 weeks, I sold like 12 units.
Wow.
So it's by far the best selling thing I have on Etsy. So I was actually thinking about taking it down because it's been a while. It's more, geared towards Easter.
Yeah.
It's kind of a niche thing. So like, maybe I just deactivate it. And then within like a couple of days, it's like, no, 2 orders, 2.
Cool.
I'm like, oh shit. All right. Maybe I just leave that up there then.
Yeah. So, I mean, for pennies a month to list it, the one you sold probably pays for the whole year listing.
Yeah.
If you think about it that way. So just leave it.
Yeah. So that was, it was encouraging because I've been getting a little kind of down on the Etsy stuff. And granted, I'm not doing a lot to really get it moving, but it was really refreshing to get kind of 2 organic orders like that, just out of nowhere. And then I'm an affiliate. I think I mentioned it in the pre-show. I have an affiliate thing now.
That's very cool.
I've been approved as an Ortor affiliate.
Very good.
So there's a link coming that will be in my bio that you can click.
That we will also share on our YouTube channel.
Yeah. That will take you to Ortor's site where you'll be able to get their new Laser Master 3.
Yes. What can I do with that?
You can cut more thicker stuff, and you can do it faster.
Excellent.
So
are you going to be buying one for yourself?
I don't know if I'm going to get the Laser Master 3. That one is kind of pricey.
Okay.
I think it's like $600 right now.
Do they give you a discount?
I do not get a discount. I do, however, if you do use my link, I do get a commission on it, which is nice. And it's not just on a laser; it can be their accessories and stuff like that. So if you need the roller, you can go ahead and use that affiliate link to go ahead and get that. I am actually thinking of getting a second laser. I'm thinking about getting a 10-watt one that Ortor has. And typically with these things, I have the 15-watt now, but that's the input.
Yeah,
what actually
not
comes
the output.
out of what actually comes out of the laser is like 1.5 watts.
Oh,
so I really can't cut anything.
Okay.
But this 10-watt laser that they have is a true 10-watt.
10-watt output.
10-watt output.
Okay.
So you can cut through, I think it's like 3/4 inch wood and like 1 inch acrylic, which is crazy for a diode laser.
That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know. My diode laser that I got, that Niji one, is just a small little, I think it's a 30 watt. I don't even know, but the output isn't.
Yeah, the output is definitely not 30 watts.
No, I don't know what I have to ask David Franklin, because
I have to
fired it up yet.
To get it.
Damn it, I haven't fired that up yet.
Well, I mean, if you don't want it, I might just take it. I could take it off your hands.
No, I just need to get it up and running. Now that I have no major projects going on, it'll within the next month I should get it tested out. And
I don't know about the Niji or whatever the hell it's called, how user friendly it is, but I mean, if you're using Lightburn
I downloaded Lightburn. I bought Lightburn, I should say, for 2 computers.
Nice.
You told me I should do it out in the garage, though.
Yeah, or anywhere that you're gonna. It's going to be ventilated because it's going to have smoke or something like that.
Yeah.
Depending on what you cut. So I do mine in the garage with the big door open and then my Ryobi fan blowing the stuff towards the opening.
It would suck in the winter, but whatever. That's probably when I'm going to be able to use it by the time I get around to it.
Well, they make enclosures for those things now, like even the desktop ones. Oh. So you could like bring it inside, run like ducting to your window.
I got a little window right there.
And
I got bench space available over there.
Perfect. See, it sounds like that should be the spot to go.
I think it might be. I just have to build a little extension on the front of the bench so it's deep enough.
You could use my affiliate link to buy the Ortor enclosure.
I might want to even just look and see what that is.
So it's basically a little. This is going to sound stupid, but an enclosure.
No, I mean, can I build one?
Yeah, the people build one. I think King Gubby like designed and built kind of one that they sell on their site. But now Ortor's come out and they've actually made an enclosure that I think all you just need is some sort of pump, like kind of a vacuum pump to get it out, to get all the fumes out.
Well, wouldn't it come with that?
Well, yeah. I mean, the enclosure if you buy it, but yes, you could build an enclosure.
Oh, there are plans.
All you would need.
An enclosure. Oh, it looks like it has one of those orange top. Oh, that's a different engraver cover. So yeah, I guess there are numerous plans out there on how to build one.
But if you find yourself short on time, you can always just buy one.
Yeah, I'm big on just buying shit because I don't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So I'll buy stuff before I'll sit and build it because it's it's a metal enclosure.
Yep.
It's $309.
Yeah. But can you really put a price on your lung health?
No. I guess not.
Yeah. But then I've also I saw something a couple things on Instagram this week. One of them was it's a page, I think it's called Hang Up Art. This dude does incredible sign work. Okay. And I always thought he had like a CNC or at the very least a scroll saw.
Yeah.
Apparently he does all his cutting with a jigsaw.
Oh, jigsaw.
Phenomenal stuff. He posted something where it's like, I do all my cutting with a jigsaw, and like, I'm going to take him at his word, but like, god dang.
Wow.
It's pretty good. So I was thinking about printing out some stuff and trying to make my own sign and using like my jigsaw to try to do the curved cuts.
Okay. I don't know if I hate my jigsaw. I have a jigsaw that's a Skill jigsaw from 1994. I hate it. I need to buy an updated jigsaw.
See, I have a Cobalt one. When I was kind of drinking the Cobalt Juice with their XTR line, and
Yeah.
before they pulled the rug out from under me with Flex.
Right.
But it's a great little jigsaw. It's worked fine for me. So I want to go get a couple more scroll blades for it, and then see what I can come up with. I was thinking about doing like a Giants themed like home plate with the SF in it.
All right. Yeah, I want to make a White Sox. I want to make so many things for my.
I want to make lots of things.
I got a list as long as your Johnson. That needs to be to make. And
That's short, huh?
I keep adding shit to it too. I'm just making a list of stuff that I want to build, and it's not my turn yet, so I'll tell you when I.
No, it's okay. I'm done. That's all I had.
All right, I'm looking.
Wait, no. Last thing, I finished the kitchen. The last 2 pieces.
I saw the video or the pictures you posted. Man, it looks wonderful. Good job.
So, I'm incredibly happy to be done with that portion of the kitchen.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. I am very happy for you. That you don't have that hanging over your head anymore.
Yeah, so now we have to paint and then do flooring.
Oh yeah, I still got all that shit to do.
Yeah, that's not happening until after the new year.
So for flooring, are you gonna do like a ceramic tile, or are you gonna do?
No, we're gonna do vinyl plank flooring.
Okay.
So it's gonna just be sitting on top of the existing tile, and eventually we will refloor the rest of the house.
Okay.
But
I know. I'm looking at, when I do the kitchen, refinishing all my hardwood by myself, which is kitchen, eating area, family room, foyer, hallway, bathroom. I have to pull the toilet, take off all the base shoe I put down already, rent one of those big ass sander things. Probably one day of sanding, right? Maybe.
No, yeah, I don't. Yeah, how long could it take?
I was watching Nick from Stated Woods. He was doing some flooring, and they're refinishing their floors. And then I saw him. He's like carrying a bucket, and then he drops the thing of stain on the floor. He's like, oh. And he's like trying to rub it out, and he's like, well, that's not coming out. But then he meant to do it, so then he was just putting on the stain with a big. And that's a lot of work. But
jeez,
my needs to be done. So I'm at the point where when I pull the kitchen base cabinets out that form the U, because I'm going to get rid of that bump out. If there's still hardwood under it and it looks completely different than the hardwood that's surrounding it, then I might be forced to actually finish the floors before I put new cabinets down, So I guess I'll cross that bridge when I get to it.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So I was looking at your Ortor enclosure thing, and it says it only works for the Ortor Laser Master 2.
No.
So I don't know if mine would fit in there. All I would have to do is measure, and it has its own exhaust fan on it. So you just put the tubing out your window. Yeah, I'm curious to see what the size of the laser is that fits in it, because this little Niji, it's small. It's 36 inches wide, I think, somewhere around there. It's pretty wide, but not very deep. I'll just make a box one. I'm thinking of buy one of those small fans from somewhere, like a computer fan, basically.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like in the picture there. Make my own if I don't want to do it in the wintertime.
Yeah.
When I redesign the whole shop and expand,
know.
I'll have a spot for everything.
Just get right on that.
Yeah, I'm on it. So I actually just made a sale on Etsy.
Ooh.
Yeah, a couple of days ago, someone bought one of my Marines bottle opener.
Okay.
The one I did for Eric at Valhalla.
Okay.
Blue with the red blood stripe in the middle and the sergeant. So she said, I want this. I'm like, cool. And then I said, what's the rank? And she's like, E7. And I'm like, oh, because the bottle opener itself is just the sergeant stripes and then the rifles. There's no other, bars below it or anything. It was just the basic, which I think you can use for anything really. But so I looked up E7, and it actually has like 2 rockers. Well, I looked up something that showed 3 rockers under the stripe. So then I mocked it up on the computer, sent her an image of it. She's like, no, it looks more like this. So she sent me a picture of him. Then she said he's a gunny sergeant. I was looking on his uniform. He's got the pin on his lapel, you know, but it's black, a black pin on the dark camo uniform. It's kind of hard to see. So then she said gunny, and I'm like, all right. So then I look up gunny, and then I see it's 2 rocker bars with the guns in the middle. So I found on Etsy a whole armed services rank insignia digital file.
SVG. Yeah.
Every one of them. $4.
Including Space Force?
Including Space Force.
Fuck yeah.
So I bought
awesome.
it for $4. So then I sent her a mock-up, and now we figured
Money well
out.
spent.
Yeah. So with the 2 rockers and I did a little bit of editing with the file to eliminate all the little lines that would be inside the rifles and everything that would just be confusing for the CNC, you know. So I just cleaned it up, and I sent her a picture this morning. Is this it? And she's like, oh my God, that's perfect. So I asked her, do you want anything engraved on the back? Because now, since I had a bottle opener, Iron Man bottle opener ordered, and someone wanted I Love You 3000 engraved on the back, I figured I'd ask my clients, do you want a message put on the back? So she wants his initials and then his service date. You know, dates from 2001 to 2023, whatever. So we got that all mocked up. I just have to cut the wood for it and then start the painting and stuff. And then finishing up 3 stars, police stars, engraved and gold painted, because one's for chief and 2 are for deputy chiefs. So I got that going on. That almost done. I just have to paint the sides of the star now. I engraved them over the past 10 days. Last night I painted the gold, and tonight I'll paint the black around on the sides of it. So that'll be done. And I started resurfacing my assembly table, as I told you in our pre-show on Instagram Live. I had all kinds of paint and stain and glue and stuff on here. And it seems like every year to 18 months, I'll sand it down completely, and I'll put an oil-based polyurethane over it, because everything seems to scrape off of that really well. I haven't tried water-based. I don't even know if it'll the same. But I had told you I wanted to think about maybe doing an epoxy layer on it. And you were kind enough to tell me that you have a piece of epoxy countertop left over that you are going to put glue on and paint and stain, and then see if it comes off. And if it does, I might pour a very thin layer of epoxy over this table, because I painted a blue line down the middle. I want to paint the top and the bottom part black. I want to put my logo on it and my website. So when I'm doing stuff on YouTube, you can see it. Or when I'm assembling stuff, it shows, you know, like Jason at Marksman has on his table. He's got his Marksman logo. And I think Jonathan has it too. JR Back has his logo on his table.
I actually was thinking about doing that, just taking my little laser, setting it on top there in the middle, and just let it go. Yeah,
burn your logo into your table. That'd be pretty cool. So I'm working on those things, and I had my Brunt workwear. You know, they gave me the boots.
Yeah.
Try out.
Yeah, I remember.
Well, they've now given me a discount code for anybody listening that wants to buy any Brunt work gear or boots or pants or shoes. That's a $10 off first purchase of boots and apparel. $10. The code is MWW10. Marazza Woodworking 10, MWW10 for $10 off. You guys want to check that out? I do not have an affiliate program with them. I'm not making any money on that. I like their product. If I'm gonna actually order a pair of pants myself, but if you are interested and want to save $10, check them out. And then I had a boot company called Ever Boots. They reached out to me, wanted to send me some boots, see if I'd review them and check them out. And I didn't even answer them. I looked them up on online, watched a couple YouTube videos of people that had tried their boots, and a couple guys that just do boot reviews, like Joe Boot Review. And they said they're soft and they're at least a less expensive version of a work boot that are, you know, okay. But I'm like, I don't need to go down any more rabbit holes with these, you know, businesses reaching out to me. I did find out that the lock system I installed and did the video for, which is on YouTube now, it's not holding the memory.
Yes. Is there any update on that?
Well, I still haven't taken it off, and that's what I'm going to do. I emailed them. Remember, I just emailed them the other day, said, listen, your lock is not holding a memory, and anybody else that has this lock in their home can actually get into my home with the preset code from the factory. I will not be keeping this lock. And then they emailed me back and said, can you please videotape yourself programming a lock so I can get it to our research and development, and let them know. And I just simply got back to them and said, listen, I programmed it as per the instructions perfectly. The way it's listed out is how I did it twice. I'm not going to videotape that because I'm following your instructions. And it worked for a day, and then it lost the code. Even put new batteries in it. So now I want to take it out. I'll probably do that probably Wednesday. So I just sent that email yesterday. I'm not going to go through me filming how I'm programming it when I'm programming it per the instructions. Just read your instructions. That's how I did it.
Yeah.
I'm not an idiot. I know what I'm doing. And it worked.
So the update video should be pretty good.
That'll come out at some point next month. Maybe I'll do one. I should film myself. You know what I'll do? I'll take the footage and just reverse it.
Yeah.
And me taking it off. Instead of, I'll just show me taking off. I'll just reverse
do it in like a time lapse.
Yeah, time lapse.
And then record scratch.
Yeah.
And then
back up.
And then into a field.
Like a field of grass.
And then just throw it in the field and then just start beating the crap out of it.
Okay, that'd be pretty funny. Burglars love this lock. Number 1 ranked amongst burglars.
Number 1 ranked amongst burglars. 9 out of 10 burglars recommend this lock.
This lock, yeah. So, and then yesterday, I unboxed all my surf prep stuff. I filmed it. I was gonna do a YouTube video for each thing. I thought, that's really time consuming, and I don't have time for that shit. So I did one portrait style, IG style video from across the bench, just of me unboxing and putting the vacuum together, and then unboxing the sander and what's inside of it. No words, not speaking, none of that stuff. Just gonna play it. I'll type some words in the video, and then because I looked it up in the instructions for the vacuum before you put it together, there's a QR code that says before you unpack your vacuum, follow this QR code, and it's Skylar, the owner of Surf Prep, actually showing you how to unpack the vacuum. Why do they need me to say it? Skylar does a good job of it himself. So I'll just put that link in the video. If you want to see the owner do it, this is how the owner did it. But
it's so easy, even the owner can do it.
Yeah. It's so cool because when you turn the vacuum on, first of all, I put my headphones on so I can listen to music, and I put on my Basecamp mask, 10% off at basecamp.com. And I was sanding the table, and I couldn't hear the vacuum not only because I had headphones on, but it's so much quieter than that relic I have. That's the shop vac.
Yeah.
And when I got it set up on automatic, so as soon as you key up the sander, it turns on. And then it's 7 seconds after you shut off the sander, it'll shut off, and then it bangs the filter. You hear a thud thud. So it's constantly cleaning. It's a self-cleaning system. So I'm really excited to use it more on actual projects like wood stuff, not just my table. And I didn't try your 3x4. I just used the 5-inch 5-inch sander that I got, and I used 2 different pads. I used I told you I picked the 5-inch sander instead of the 6-inch because I have a shitload of 5-inch discs that I got, and I didn't want to have to then buy 6-inch. But there's only 5 holes in that sander, in the orbital sander, and they're not exactly in the place where the holes are for the other types of sanding discs I have. So like only 3 holes were getting suction. It seemed to work, and it was drawing the dust out fine. It was fine.
That's why I like using the Abernet stuff from Diablo.
It's a mesh stuff?
The Diablo Sand Net.
Just numerous holes?
It's that Abernet kind of style sandpaper where there are no like dedicated dust collection holes. It's basically like a mesh.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah. So it's
fantastic.
Suction. Yeah.
Yep.
So I've got literally hundreds of. I got sanding discs I got to go through. So before I
And
even use.
when your sandpaper gets clogged, you just take it off there. You take a little air compressor, put it back on there.
All right.
Lasts twice as long.
I bought the kits for the the sanders I bought the actual kit, so it comes with a shitload of their stuff. Yeah. And I didn't know that the orbitals had the soft foam. They have
that too.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. I'm giddy.
I'm telling you, look, sanding will never be awesome. There's no way you can make it awesome.
But so much
Surf Prep makes it not suck.
Yeah. And I have a coupon code coming from them. So I think I chose Bookem. I don't know if I told you. Since it's handcuffs and sawdust. So like throwback to Hawaii 5-0. Bookem, Dano.
Yeah, just Bookem, Dano.
Bookem will be the coupon code, I think. Unless she said name it. I'm like, okay, Bookem. We'll see what happens. But I wanted to keep it law enforcement related. I finished the bat display case, the baseball bat display case. I'll be posting some pictures. It was really hard to shoot pictures of it. We're going to get going in a second. It's so fucking big that if you shoot in portrait style, you're like 18 feet away from it just to get it in the frame. So I took a few landscape pictures of it, and I don't know. It looks good. There were some imperfections I didn't like about it because I can see them. Like you cut the oak for the door, and then it decides to warp. So after you use the band clamp to put it together, you got one of the 45s. You had a gap there, and I'm like, oh, what the fuck? So I squeeze glue in there, then I put the bar clamp on, and I squeeze it together, and then I let that sit for a day, and then now the door, which was cut to length, it's 1/8 of an inch bigger on each end, just overhang, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Did you water it?
I'm so glad it's gone. It's gone. He picked it up. I was putting it in his sister's Jeep. I banged it off the side of the fucking top. It's so heavy. This thing's solid oak. And it's huge. It's heavy. He's like, I had it bubble wrapped and I banged it off his sister's Jeep. He's like, oh, don't worry. That's the plastic. I'm like, okay. I stick it in the back seat. I'm like, please have someone else younger take it out for you. He's like, okay. Well, he gave it to his nephew and he hung it up and he loves it. And it's got, to me, it's got imperfections, but they love it. So I'm like, okay, it looks cool. I learned a lot.
Tagging Schwarber in one of the.
I know, and I thought that was so cool that you did that. And I don't even think he notices. So
hey, you never know. Maybe you'll get like a message like, "Hey, dude, that's super cool. Here's some free stuff."
Yeah, it was cool. So that's
and then I'll be like, "Damn it, I should have tagged him in like my stuff."
Right, all the time. That's it. That's all I got, man. A lot of stuff going on here. And now I'm just looking to do some shit that I want to do. That's why I'm attacking this shop project here before I go on to anything else.
I think that's important to do. And it's like just every now and then just do something for ourselves.
Yeah.
I want this. I'm going to build it.
Right. So I want to cut the wood for that bottle opener before I finish, starting to do the second coat of paint on this table because it's going to get dusty. So tonight I'm going to do that. I'm going to cut the wood for the bottle opener. And then wipe down the table and start painting the table. So if you find out about your epoxy, project, let me know how that goes.
Yes, I will update.
I am curious.
So I know it's been a while since we did like a maker
shout out
thing.
Yeah.
But I think this one's worthy. So I've been following this lady. I'm just more or less the whole family for a few months now. The Instagram handle is Dang DIY Home. It's phenomenal, work that she does, but also she's been documenting her family's journey with a young child who has cancer.
Oh no!
And it's been a struggle for them. They've tried everything. A few months ago, it basically came down from their doctors that, hey, we've done everything. You can continue to try and treat it and throw Hail Marys up there, and it's going to suck for them, or you can enjoy the time that you have left.
Oh, no, man.
So they've been doing a lot of trips. They went to Disney World. They went a bunch of other places. And the thing that's really awesome is somebody set up a GoFundMe, and it's been more or less paid for by the maker community.
Okay.
And then and she's been sharing stuff. She's been sharing the ups and the downs of young Chase's journey. And unfortunately, last night, Chase passed away.
Oh.
And I can't imagine what they're going through, but they have handled this entire thing with a level of grace that I just can't fathom. So I know they're hurting. I doubt they listen to this show, but
I'm just checking out.
it was just one of those things that, you see stuff on there, and a lot of times we see each other as just content creators, or just, it's an Instagram profile.
Right.
But there's real people behind it with real issues and real struggles. So,
well, good call by you.
I thought it was very worthy for them to get the shout out.
Is that the only page they have? Because
I think there's one specifically dedicated that was following like kind of Chase's journey.
Because I'm looking at their dang DIY homepage. They haven't posted since May 13th.
Yeah, so a lot of it is in her stories.
Oh, okay.
I
got you.
And then I don't know if I think update is So she has
I seen
the little story summations. The one titled update tells you just about everything you need to know with Chase, and it's it's heartbreaking. He's just a little boy that was just full of smiles and happiness, and it was really sad.
All right, thanks for bringing us back down.
That's what I do. Sometimes you bring us down, sometimes I bring us down. Normally it's your thing, but in an episode 50 twist, I come in with the really, really dark, depressing shit.
Yeah, thanks. I don't know. It doesn't always have to be me, thank God. So
yeah, it's okay. I cried today.
When you were on the field at the Giants park?
No. So I think I mentioned it. I can't remember if it was the Instagram or the pre-show or what. I was able to find, so the stadium opened in 2000, right?
Yeah, you said when you went to go sit up in your seats where you sat with your grandpa?
Yeah. So my grandpa passed away like 8 years ago, something like that. But he and I were incredibly close, and we would go to baseball games together. One of the proudest moments of my life was I had actually saved enough money to where I bought Giants-Dodgers tickets and took him, and we sat 12 rows behind home plate. And it was, the Giants were horrible those years. It was like 2008. But no, I sat down. It was the weirdest thing because I'm not super emotional guy.
Oh, I am.
There are certain things that I get super choked up about. But we were kind of walking along the arcade there, where McCovey Cove is, and along the right field wall. And oh shit! That's where those seats were. I'm like, hey, look, guys, I want to show you where the very first seat I sat at in the stadium. We walked over, and I found the exact section, and I sat down, and then instantly I was like, so I sat there for 5-10 minutes and had a moment.
Yeah.
But that was really nice. It was a good little moment. Because I still remember a shit ton about the game. I remember Levon Hernandez was the starter that day. He threw six no-hit innings before he gave up his first hit.
Yeah.
And then it's the only time I've ever heard Dusty Baker booed in San Francisco when he came to take him out. And then I remember Rob Nen came in the 9th inning, because that was the thing, to smoke on the water and close it out. 4th of July win. I can't remember who they played, but I remember they won.
That's cool. So it wasn't the Dodgers.
No, it wasn't the Dodgers.
Okay.
So the first game wasn't the Dodgers, and we sat up on the right field thing. I was 13. It was 2000, and then 8 years later, I'd saved up some money.
Stop.
Yeah.
13.
So I had saved up money.
Oh my God.
And then took my grandpa to a game in 08,
Okay, that's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, before we go, I got a call from Uncle Harold the other day as I'm pulling into the driveway at the end of my crazy weekend. It's like, and he doesn't even say hello. He said, it's not like, hey, Mike. He said right off the bat, I go, hello? And he's like, you have to send Brandon a picture of me. I don't think he knows I exist or something like that. And I go, what are you talking about? And he goes, I don't think he doesn't think I'm real. I go, he knows you're real. And he goes, you need to send him the picture of us when I was riding along with you, because he did a ride along with me many years ago. Yeah. And I gave him a vest and stuff. It was awesome. And I go, no, he knows you're real. Is this in reference to the contest? Because Brandon said, you don't contribute to the show, so you can't be a contestant in the contest. It wasn't that he doesn't think you exist. He knows you exist, but you just don't contribute to the show as far as sending in a question to be part of the contest. So he wanted me to send you a picture of him just so you know he's real.
I know you're real, Uncle Harold. We're friends on Facebook, damn it. Although, Mike could have a dummy account.
I think
maybe
I'm a dummy.
Maybe it's an elaborate ruse.
It's an elaborate ruse, yeah. So with that, let's get out of here, Brandon.
All right, send questions to handcuffs&sawdustpodcast@gmail.com. Or you can DM Mike at Morazzo Woodworking or me at Full House Woodworking. Let's leave. Yeah, I think we're done. You did the best today, Mike.
I did the best today?
You did the best.
Okay. You did the best.
Yay.
Thanks for listening to episode 50. Watching us on YouTube. Like, share, save. Forward.
Ring bells.
Ring bells. Tell your friends.
Bells.
Good concert. Be safe on the street and in the shop. Peace.
Deuces.
And scene.
And we're done.